and welcome to another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 4, and if you're counting all of them, it's Episode 104. I'm Craig.
I'm Britt.
I'm Sean.
I'm Cinch.
And we're back again, Britt,
Yes.
to cover more rankings, drink more beer.
Yes, this is the fourth episode in our week-long bonanza of getting the rankings done. So today, we're going to talk about the most exciting categories of them all. Tight end and everything else.
Kicker, defense,
Yes.
something.
Last year, our kicker preview, I looked it up, was 35 seconds long.
Excellent.
I believe our fantasy advice was draft one if you need them. So,
That's usually how it works.
but let's start with the beer. Let's just jump right in.
Yes.
What are you guys drinking? I'm taking a night off. My liver called me and asked me for some time off. So, Sean's about to open a can. Oh, Craig had a push. There we go. Sorry, I had to cover for Craig there. So, Sean, tell the people what you just opened.
I opened Wrench by
Industrial Arts.
Industrial Arts.
I recognize the can. And I believe you and I tried this at Gathering at the Binds.
Do you
I do
remember
thi-
trying it?
I don't have a firm memory of a lot of things that happened that day.
Okay.
I remember the Alamo, but that's about it.
Good.
Cinch is doing the pouring right now on the other side of the room. Sean is still trying to finish his warm-up beer.
Yep, there he goes.
There we go. All right. Well,
Much
somebody
better.
do a drink because we're clocking today. We're trying to get through a ton of stuff. It looks pretty cloudy. It doesn't look like it's got a ton of light penetration, but it's golden colored.
Yeah, no, it's murky.
It's described as a Northeast IPA.
Northeast IPA.
Lush, tropical, and pithy.
Northeast.
Northeast.
It feels cool and refreshing. What I spilled on my leg, at least.
Where is Industrial Arts based out? Does anybody know? It's probably in tiny print on that can somewhere, but Craig and Cinch are going for their try. Cinch is taking a smell of the nose. He looks concerned is the word I would use. Craig,
Gardnerville, New York.
they're out of New York. Well, that's why they don't want to be New England because New York isn't New England. Craig, you've taken 3 sips of it and you look bewildered. Talk to me.
It's one of those beers where the nose does not match the flavor.
That's why it's confusing. Is the nose pleasant?
It is.
Is the flavor pleasant?
It is.
Okay. Cinch,
They
what do you
just
think?
don't. They just don't match.
It's not what you expected after
Right.
taking a sniff. A sniff. There we go.
Grapefruity.
Yeah, the aftertaste is grapefruity.
Okay.
It's like
Sean's
30
tasting.
seconds later, you get It's like you just ate a
Yeah,
grapefruit.
it's fruit. Yeah, there's definitely they said it was fruity, and it does have a fruity aftertaste.
All right, so quickie, give it a quickie rating on Untappd on a scale of 1 to 5. What do you give it?
Sean's thinking deeply.
4.25.
4 1/4.
I give
Cinch.
it
I like it.
good.
Thumbs
I
up
give
from
it a
Cinch?
3.75.
3.75 doesn't crack a 4 for you.
No, I might have to drink more of it, but
Okay,
right
that's
now.
fair. Well, let's move on to burning hot takes while you guys enjoy that beer. That sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to lead off this week because I have one that broke today, and I'm very excited about it. And it's mainly because Sean is here. This afternoon, one of our favorite running backs, by favorite, I mean, not really, Le'Veon Bell, tweeted out to the world, quote, "This is long overdue, but I want to take a moment to apologize to all the fantasy owners who picked me last year. I'm sorry I couldn't pull through for y'all, but trust me, this year is about to be way different. I'm bringing the trophy emoji this year, purple devil face, purple devil face." Sean, you drafted Le'Veon Bell last year, didn't you?
He did.
I did in one league, which happens to be our league. Yes.
Were you accepting of his apology?
No,
And why not? Why are you not accepting of the apology?
because that was last year,
Yeah.
and nothing he can say can take that great disappointment away.
Do either of you had shares of Le'Veon Bell in any leagues last year?
Nope.
Nope, me neither.
not.
So that officially makes us the smartest people in the room. Sean is a bitter old man, and we can move on. Who else has
Just
got
did
one for
not
me?
think he would hold out
That
all
little
season.
championship trophy emoji.
Yeah.
It's the only one he's going to have with the Jets.
That's here you
Wow.
go. He put
Says
two
a
of them.
Patriot fan.
He put 2 of them up there. One's for his fantasy league. One's in his mind, and that's all that matters. Who else got a question
I
for
got
me?
one. We're
What do you got?
talking tight ends today. Here's my question. Last year, George Kittle had
Yeah.
88 receptions, 1,377 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Did he really? 1,300 yards. My God.
He did. I'd say 95% of that with a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So, assuming that he has his starter back for the season, how is Kittle not the number 1 ranked tight end?
Because Travis Kelce still walks the earth.
And he has Patrick Mahomes throwing to him.
He has a better quarterback throwing to him.
And having a backup quarterback might actually have helped his numbers than he might actually maybe see a decrease.
So you're saying the
this year.
backup quarterback was his safety net going to
net.
Kittle?
Yeah, let's not also forget San Francisco had terrible problems at running back last year. Breida was hurt all the time.
I'm not saying that Kittle's going to go way down.
No, I don't
and
think
that
so
he's
either.
going to go away, but
Do you put him above Zach Ertz? Well, we'll get to that later.
Yes.
All right, well,
right.
Kelsey,
Some of us have.
Kelsey went 103 for 1336, same amount of yards.
A few more catches.
Like 20 catches, 15 catches more, 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he had 5 more.
On a much more prolific offense. So that comes into that. Do you trust the third receiver on the Dolphins more than the third receiver on New Orleans? No. I'm always going to take the third receiver on the better offense because of it. So in that kind of a situation, yeah, I'm going to take what I consider to be the better offense. For me, that's the Chiefs. That's a great question, though.
And it's all projecting. It's not just numbers. Do you
Right.
project that to happen again?
Not Kelsey's number. I think Kelsey's going to regress this year, but I'm killing my own lead. Who else has got a question for me? We got a couple more minutes.
Well, I think that we all have a top 3 that are like in the tier above of everyone else.
Oh, there is a significant
But-
drop off. Yes.
So if you don't get one of those top 3, where do you start drafting other tight ends?
Like after round 10 for me, like late.
Yeah.
I mean,
after
that
round
next
10,
hodgepodge.
Maybe 12.
I'm gonna kill one of my leads right now. My top tier is 3. I'm looking. My next tier is 6. So that means the end of the second tier is 9 tight ends in, which means I can wait a long time in a 10 person, and I can wait a pretty good time in a 12 person. And that's it. I'm looking at the guys who are my third tier, and there's names I like.
Mm-hmm.
I might seriously, tight ends might be 2 of my last 3 or 4 picks in any sort of redraft this year. What do you guys think?
I had that last year on one of my teams. The tight end was just, who can I pick up? I must have had 5 of them for the season.
I think the thing you have to try to avoid is that if somebody does like one of those other, 6 guys,
Yeah.
they draft them maybe in the, I don't know, 5th, 6th round. Stay cool. Don't draft.
Don't panic.
Don't panic on a run of tight ends because, oh my God, I might not get one of them. Stay cool and just kind of wait it out.
I'll panic on running backs and wide receivers. If I see a big run going, I'm worried. I won't panic on the other positions. There's so much depth at quarterback, and tight end is so close outside of those top 3. Craig, you got a question for us?
I do, really quick. This was
Please.
on Twitter. Someone's hot take was, now that AJ Green is hurt,
Yes.
he's out 6 to 8 weeks,
Yeah.
torn ligament in his ankle. Someone on Twitter said that the Bengals now have the worst offense of the NFL. I respectively disagree. Has this person not looked at the Giants' offense in the last 7 days?
Is that your question?
They had right. I don't know if they have Saquon Barkley. The end.
I mean, even not going with the Giants, there's probably another team out there.
How about the Dolphins?
Yeah, there you go, Miami.
How about the Redskins? I mean,
yeah,
people are
the
saying the Redskins are either going to be really, really good, they're an 11-win team, or they're a 3-win team. I'm hearing
I still don't think the Cardinals are that good.
Cardinals are a work in progress, too, again. Cinch, worst teams than the Bengals right now with A.J. Green out.
Won't someone just give the Bengals some love?
Craig does every week. Hey, listen.
And again, AJ Green's not out forever, so
Listen, we are the conductors of the Joe Mixon train.
We
But
are.
right now, the Joe Mixon train, I can't see the tracks ahead of it. I can't see where I'm going.
choo choo.
You've been on that train, that bus for a season plus.
Yep.
Yep.
And we were right.
I just want to separate.
He was in the
I'm
top
not
10
on that.
running backs last year, was he not?
Last year,
Yeah.
I drafted Barkley with my first pick, and
Yep.
I was on the Barkley bus.
Yep.
Championship.
Yep. All right, let's talk about some tight ends. So I have in front of us the consensus rankings, and shocking, all of us put Travis Kelce at number 1. I personally think Kelsey's going to regress a little bit this year. I think that there's going to be there's a lot of mouths to feed in Kansas City. I don't think he's not going to post similar numbers, but I think he could still potentially be the top in the league. Is there anything we could say about Kelce, or just draft him if he's there in like round 6? He's not going to be a most.
He's not going to be there in round
No,
6.
I've seen him going round 3 and round 2 sometimes, but so there. There we go.
I've seen the end of round 1.
All right, so when is too soon for you in a redraft league, in a PPR redraft? When is too soon to look at Travis Kelce? In generally speaking, I'm thinking no earlier than round 3, and that would still be a stretch for me.
I would think about it mid round 2 to end of round 2. If I notice that other people that I'm really, I mean, of course you have to see who else is there, but if it's a choice between Kelce and I don't even know.
Well, we haven't got anybody else on the list.
No,
you know,
we haven't.
all the running backs have been gone, and you don't like any of those, you know,
Yeah, you're looking at the
right
Derrick
there,
Henry
then you
level
can
of
do it.
wide. You're looking at the Cortland Sutton, Derrick Henry range, not far from there. Since
Yeah,
when
I
do you
mean,
think?
I wouldn't take him before late in the 4th, because if you want him that bad, that's fine. If you want the other 2-3 guys that are on that top level, that's fine.
You overpaying for him makes
I-
somebody drop
I
one
will
spot
take-
more.
I will take that running back or that receiver, and you guys can
Absolutely.
take the tight end you like, and I'll pick up, you know, tight end number 15, and we'll see how it goes.
I like that. Craig, what do you think? When's too
Definitely.
early?
When's too early? Anything before around 6.
Wow, we are all over the map here.
So Craig will not have a tight end.
Sean is saying
Wow.
mid to end of 3 is what you said?
No, I said I could do towards the end of round 2.
So
That's
end of 2 was the
Yeah.
earliest. I said 3 was the earliest. Cinch was like, I don't care. I'll get somebody better and discount design in later. And Craig was like, if I see him, maybe I'll take him around 6. So, all right. So number 2 on our list, and this is where it's interesting because a lot of us, we talked about, you know, everyone talks about Kelsey. The other 2 big names are Ertz and Kittle, and we have Ertz at 2 and Kittle at 3 by the skinniest of margins. So our expert took Ertz, Sean took Ertz, Cinch took Ertz, Craig and I both went with Kittle. So here we go. Point, counterpoint, Ertz camp. Why do you like Ertz better than Kittle?
I changed my mind already, and I wanted Kittle.
Okay, so
Okay.
I told you before
Hey,
we started.
which
We're
would have
easy.
changed it. Which
we're
would've
easy.
changed
All right, so
it.
our number 2 now is George Kittle.
So Sean, why do you?
So
want
Sean,
Ertz?
you're all by yourself.
Okay.
Tell us why you like Zach Ertz better than George Kittle.
I think it's more of knowing the person that you know more than the person that you don't know. I mean, I know we had a whole season of Kittle again, but it was with the backup quarterback.
And we've
now
seen
we're getting
more of Ertz.
Garoppolo. We've seen more Ertz, more consistency, maybe.
Maybe.
No, well, no, but this is what you got to think that it's more consistency with the quarterback. I know Wentz has been in and out, but I think that's what you have to go with. I think that brings him. It's one of those coin flip kind of things, and
Yeah.
you have to analyze what you think is going to bring one guy better than the other, and that's what I think it is.
I kind of agree. I lean towards Kittle just because I like what I see out of Kittle. And Ertz has been, in my opinion, a little inconsistent. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think for me, it's the injury problem Philadelphia has between Ertz and Wentz. It's a lot of Z's. It's a lot of resting. They both have injury history. You know, Wentz has a cracked spine. So for me, it's just that's the main part of it for me. And I like George Kittle. I'm big
Here's
on
the thing
George
with
Kittle.
Philly.
Yeah.
Wentz threw to the tight end a lot. Mm-hmm. When he was hurt and Foles came in, Foles threw the deep bomb to the receiver. So if Wentz is there all season long and he stays healthy, Ertz numbers, his attempts will be high.
Nice. I like that. I like that take. So Sean's going to open the second beer. What do you got?
We have Synopsis Prickly Pear, a sour ale brewed with pricked pear.
Is that from Area 2? Our friends at Two
That
Roads?
is Area 2.
Hashtag sponsor us?
And don't try to look at the can upside down while it's open.
Yeah. Wow. Is that pinkish? Wow.
That looks like
That's
Kool-Aid.
yes, that is like raspberry ginger ale color.
Yeah, or 7
Oh my god, do you have to drink that with your pinkies out?
This is redder than Road Jam.
Yes, no,
Redder
this is
than Road Jam.
and it's clearer than Road Jam too. All right, well, while they're finished pouring, that's the end of our first tier. There is a
Thank you.
cliff that you drive off of in our rankings.
I think with tight end, it's probably the biggest cliff.
It really is. Those 3, and then the next one on our list is Jared Cook. And I'm not big on Jared Cook. The experts were. Cinch and Craig had him in the top 4. It looks like maybe top 5. I'm not big on him. I could deal with him. I'm okay with that.
You got to look at where he just signed. He's with the Saints now. That makes all the difference.
That's what
But
made
the
the difference
Saints-
for me.
But the Saints really haven't utilized the tight end so
Not
strongly
since
the last
Jimmy
couple
Graham.
years. Yeah,
That's a good point, but that's a team that's going to score a lot of touchdowns.
we talked about that.
Even
Yep.
by accident, he's going to get more there than he would on a team like the Bengals. Sorry, Craig.
We talked about this
That's
off
true.
the air. When it comes down to it, you take a team with a high offense player over a team, or a high offense team over a team that's not high offense that can be really talented. The bottom line is, all of these teams that we talked about are powerful offenses. The Chiefs, the Eagles are a decent offense. San Francisco likes to throw the ball like crazy, and now you've got New Orleans. All right, so I see a lot of face making. Cinch looks angry.
I don't know, Cinch, are you a fan of sour beers?
I don't mind.
Because Britt hates them.
I can either yes or no, but this one doesn't smell good, and upon tasting it, kind of doesn't taste good.
To me, it just tastes like a regular sour, fruity beer. There's nothing distinctive about it.
I cannot tell you if you gave this to me that, oh yeah, that's prickly pear.
Yeah,
No.
No, it's...
I mean, I could say that it's cherry. I could say that it's...
Yeah, definitely.
Something else.
It's no distinctive taste to it.
The
Fair enough.
aftertaste is like wet dog. Not that I've tasted wet dog.
Wow. So much for that sponsorship. Sorry.
It's got that taste. It's got that smell.
Wow.
I'm going to finish mine because, I mean, I'm not a monster.
Area 2 tastes like wet dog, and Sean likes fudgy. Moving on. All right, so we had Jared Cook at number 4. Yes. We have Hunter Henry at number 5 coming back from injury. I kind of like Henry a lot this year. So does Sean and Cinch. Craig rated him down a bit, though. Craig, why down on Hunter Henry?
Really from last year, I was just never a fan of his. I had him on a couple of my fantasy teams. And
high-powered offense.
I just
running out of time. Phillip
Yeah,
Rivers ain't getting any younger.
Yeah. It just wasn't happening for me. I was expecting like Antonio Gates level stuff, but it just wasn't.
Okay. Thoughts?
I mean, I think they can definitely utilize him the best. I mean, part of the reason I did it is because he is on an offense that is pretty good.
Yeah.
Rivers has a history of obviously throwing to the tight end,
Mm-hmm.
and the ranking of defenses against tight end is down towards the bottom, especially for the first half of the season. So I think that he can get off to a great start.
Okay.
Well, Henry missed essentially all of last year with the torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't judge I don't even know if he played in week 17. The playoff game against the Patriots, I don't think he played. I don't think he
was questionable for both. I don't think he appeared in either.
What I remember is 2 seasons ago, he had the speed to get downfield and beat the tight end, the linebacker covering him. And he's big enough that he could block out any kind of safety covering him. And then he's got the same ability that Kelsey has, that Kittle has, that Ertz has. He's just got to do it and stay healthy.
Agree. All right. Next, at number 6, we have a tie between Eric Ebron and Evan Engram. I don't really know what to say about either of these guys. If you need them, they're there. Since you're pretty big on Ebron, Engram, we were kind of across the middle there. Really quick, Engram or Ebron, and why? Really quick.
I would say Ingram, just because younger, and he's going to be fed the ball more, especially with the injuries to the wide receivers.
There's no one else there.
I disagree because he's not going to be fed the ball more because the Giants won't get any first downs. The Colts have a high-powered offense. They're going to go far. They're going to win a lot of games. Luck has always liked throwing to the tight end. That's why I like
Craig.
Compared to the two of them?
Yeah, pick one. Tell me why.
Same as Cinch. He's in a better spot offensively.
Wrong. The correct answer is you take Evan Engram because Jack Doyle is still there, and Jack Doyle is a thief of catches.
While he may be a fine special detective private eye,
He's a private investigator.
he is no receiver for the Colts.
So here's and that's the problem. It's not that Ebron's bad or Doyle is better. It's that Doyle 3 times a year is going to show up and catch those 10 passes for 115 yards, and Ebron's going to have a 1 for 15 day. That's the issue. It's not even that he's better. It's just he's still. If Jack Doyle gets traded tomorrow, I will absolutely bump Ebron ahead of Engram.
Yep.
All right, rounding out our top 10. We've got David Njoku at number technically 8 because there's a tie for 6. I was big on him last year. We're not going to talk about him very much. O.J. Howard at 9, and that's the end of the second tier. So that second tier, you got Hunter Henry, you got Eric Ebron, Evan Engram, David Njoku, and O.J. Howard. Who do you really like there, personally? I'm still on the Njoku train. I dropped him last year, and he got really good. So the problem is playing for me is a problem.
Where's he play?
He is in Cleveland.
Craig, what do you think of Njoku?
He's a good tight end.
All right, moving on. Sean.
I like Njoku as well. There's a lot of mouths to feed there, though. Lots of mouths to feed.
Which is what Craig's been saying forever.
But I think Howard is going to be better. I think he's going to be higher than, just because more opportunities.
But Jameis Winston stinks.
If he stinks though, what's the safety net?
They no longer have Fitzmagic.
What's the safety net?
But see, the problem
We've hit Craig's 2 trigger points.
I didn't even rank OJ Howard because that's a team that they never get first downs. The offense is terrible, they have a terrible quarterback. If you don't have a good quarterback, you rank him. Why not the other tight end there that I'm blanking because I didn't write his name down?
Cameron Brate?
There you go. Why not Brate? Brate's pretty good.
Well, actually, one of us did rank
Brate. They might have both of them out there at the same time.
It was me.
It was you.
Well, somebody ranked Brady on the list. Oh, it's me.
Evans.
I'm just saying.
And Howard.
Who do you think has a better chance of giving you points? A guy catching balls from Luck every week, or a guy catching balls from Jameis Winston?
So that's our top 9, and that's the end of our second tier. And now we get to the rest. And we're just going to kind of fly through this list at this point because we want to get onto the kickers and defense. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. Number 10, Austin Hooper. I was big on Austin Hooper, the end. Was being the operative word there. TJ Hawkinson, the rookie, is at our number 11 spot. I like him a great deal too. Craig and Cinch are big on him, so I'm going to let them talk in a second. 12, Vance McDonald. 13, the shambling corpse of Delaney Walker. Number 14, Noah Fant. And number 15, Jordan Reed. So Hooper, Hawkinson, McDonald, Walker, Fant, Reed. Oh, wait, is that too many people? Why do I have 5? I can't count.
Don't know. You're the one.
Hooper's 10. Okay, so that's 6. That's 6 names. Yeah. Hooper, Hawkinson, McDonald, Walker, Fant, Reed. Who do you like and why? And keep in mind, my follow-up question is going to be, there's 2 rookies on that list. Which one do you like and why?
Okay, I'll take it.
Go for it.
If you've got to pick one of those
6
very mediocre guys.
Yes, this is
I'll
the middle.
go with either one of the rookies, Hawkinson or Fant.
For breakout potential.
Both of them could be big tight ends.
Absolutely, in Dynasty, I agree with you.
Austin Hooper will never be a big tight end. Vance McDonald, nope. Delaney Walker has no quarterback, even though he's got 2. He's got no quarterback. Jordan Reed is hurt just listening.
Jordan Reed is one of the few tight ends that I have less faith in staying healthy than Rob Gronkowski. And I know Gronk is retired, and I still think Jordan Reed will play fewer games than Rob Gronkowski this year. Sean, you have something. You have a thought.
So if I'm drafting someone that's, going to be my good starter, every week, give me a solid thing. Yeah, I'll take a chance on Herndon or
Fant.
Hawkinson or.
Well, we haven't gotten to Herndon yet. Herndon is suspended.
It's Hawkinson and
Do
Fant.
we have him on any teams?
But,
half our teams are suspended. So
if I am picking lower, I'm not going to take a chance on those guys. I want two lower ones that I'm gonna I can see who's gonna be my starter. If you're gonna take a chance on it, I would do it if I picked up one of those guys that are a little bit more established. I got a Hunter Henry, an Ingram, or Cook. Then I would choose somebody like that if it's my backup.
But see, here's the thing. Maybe you're drafting and you have the thought process that Craig or I have, where it's, you know what, I'll get a tight end, I'm not worried about it. Then you're picking up one of these guys in round 17, maybe 15, something like that, and you're still able to get a Hawkinson or a Fant.
Which is where I'm going now. Really quick, no explanations. Hawkinson or Fant? Craig.
Hawkinson.
Cinch.
Hawkinson, just because I liked him so much.
Hawkinson.
I have Hawkinson rated higher. So.
I do too. So it's Hawkinson across the board if you're talking about just the rookies. All right, so the best of the rest, or just the rest, I guess. Chris Herndon, who's going to miss times, he's suspended. What did he get himself suspended for? Did he punch somebody? What did he do?
No, drugs.
He's on drugs?
I don't think he's trying to get anyone pregnant.
He scored the fertility drugs.
He scored the fertility drugs that Golden Tate used. Kyle Rudolph, again, if he stays healthy. Trey Burton. The problem with Trey Burton is Trey Burton.
Yeah,
he might have.
No.
You know what? I don't think we would have noticed if he had. Trey Burton. The problem is the quarterback has to throw him the ball. Jack Doyle. The problem is he's on the Colts. Jimmy Graham. The problem is he's Jimmy Graham.
Cameron used to be great.
Cameron Brate made the list. How did Cameron Brate made the list? Because
you voted for him,
and so did you actually. Now that I look at it, but that's we'll just move on from that. We have Greg Olsen behind that. Again, now we're getting to the folks. This is starting to be the Social Security wing of the tight end thing. Greg Olsen's up there a couple years. I just had the word Thomas there. Who the hell's Thomas? I
Oh,
disliked. I
no.
disliked so much I didn't bother to
Ian
put in his full
Thomas.
name.
He's a tight end on the Panthers.
Okay, thank you. Mark Andrews, and then Mike Gesicki. Really quick, Sean, 10 seconds. Why in the holy hell did you rank Mark Gesicki? Or
You
Mike
know what?
Gesicki?
5 seconds.
5 seconds, go.
Potential. I mean, he's my like 29th.
Time! That's it. You got 5 seconds. All right, that's it for tight ends. Let's go to defense really quick because we can shave a ton of time on kickers. Defense, I'm going to make this really simple. There is no easy way to do defense. You're going to you're going to stream defenses in a lot of leagues. I do it every year. I pick up one. I try to shoot for somebody who's got week 9 or 10 off so I can use them the first 8 weeks, and then I stream. That being said, there is one team that we consistently all ranked high, and that is the Chicago Bears. So, Sean, you are the Chicago Bears expert. 5 seconds. Why should we draft the Bears?
I probably won't draft the Bears.
Okay,
just so you
there's
know.
a show, folks.
Time!
Craig, what do you
Go
think?
on,
Why
go
do you draft them?
No, go on, why?
Because what happens every year? I mean, Jacksonville was the highest rated.
And that's why you stream. It's a great
and you
point.
know what? Everyone drafts them too high. So guess what? I'm not going to end up drafting them because they're going to be drafted
So
too
much
high.
like Cinch talked about with the tight end. Just sit back. If you're sitting there
How
with the
soon
last
is
pick
too
and they're
soon
still
for a
sitting there,
defense?
And
last
I'll tell you,
round.
the only time you ever draft 2 defense or kickers.
it's when you have 2 extra picks at the end of the
well,
draft.
Best ball, I think, is the only
Well,
time
then
you
you
can
have
do
to.
that.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
there. You have in best ball. Most best ball formats don't even include defense. Like
No, it's
draft
kicker.
doesn't.
If they do,
Not even
then
kicker.
that's the only
No
time
kicker
you pick
either.
2 kickers or 2 defenses.
They just do the skill positions. Other thoughts on Chicago before I move on?
I think they're going to be great, but too high to pick. They're going to be too high drafted to consider them.
The next tier is Baltimore, Minnesota, and Jacksonville in that order, all pretty closely ranked. I don't really care about any of them, to be honest with you. I think Minnesota's defense is going to be relatively point restrictive. So if you're in a league that you know points allowed counts against you, I think Minnesota's not a bad choice. Do any of these guys jump out at you to the point where you have some thoughts?
Here's my rule of thumb on defense.
Yeah.
Your best defense is the defense that's not on the field a long time. So that means you want a good offense, an offense that's going to run the clock a lot. Baltimore, if things work out well. Minnesota, if things work out well. That's that kind of team.
Not Jacksonville.
Not
no.
Jacksonville because Fournette is still there. The other thought I have on defense, you just want to pick up the defense going against the Browns. Can't do that anymore. Those
Yeah.
days are done. You
Yeah.
can't do that now. Now
So-
you've got to pick up a different team,
Miami.
a different lousy team, and the defense going against them every week.
Well, there it is. Off the top of your head, pick one team. If I can, I'll stream this against this team most weeks. I'm going to go against the Giants. I'm going to play whoever is going up against the Giants because Eli is going to throw more picks than touchdowns this year, and that's how I feel about it. Craig, who are you streaming against?
Buffalo. I still think they're in the middle of a rebuilding, and they still don't have like
Have an identity.
have a plan or identity yet in their offense.
Okay, Cinch, who do you want to stream against?
It's too early to say.
You don't want to go
I mean,
Cincy?
well,
Cincy? It's easy.
no.
It's
I
sitting
mean,
there.
when-
It's
when-
sitting there for you.
Truthfully, when the season starts, you might not know, but by week 4, you probably do know who to stream against. I mean, I would say right now, maybe Miami.
I know I'm trying
all
to.
3 of them are good. All 3 of those are good guesses.
Yeah.
But it's everything Sean said is correct. You don't want to bank on that now because a team like Cincinnati, with their first game of the season, doesn't know how bad they suck yet. They
Right.
go out and they score 30 points.
So
And then by week 2, they realize, oh, wait, what are we doing?
So I might take a team. I mean, because if you're in a 10-team league, if you get the team that's you think that's gonna be really good, that can get up there.
Yeah.
Like maybe the Saints at number 8. I have them. I might get them thinking that they could vault up to the number 3 spot. Hey, that's a good freaking value right there. So after that, if you keep them, fine. If you don't, then you start streaming.
So 2-second story because I know we're running short on time. But last year
Time.
on opening weekend, Sean and I were in Aruga's. What's the name of that sports bar we went to watch opening Sunday?
He doesn't remember.
I think it was Arugas.
It was Aruga's. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to stream against the team I know can't score a goddamn point. And I think I drafted the Ravens because they opened the season at home against Buffalo. And I might be a little bit off on this, but the final score was something like 45-3. And I saw the Ravens gave up 3 points, and they were like plus 10 on defense. And I'm like, this was genius. And then they stunk the rest of the time. The only team they could dominate was Buffalo. So
But will you draft Kansas City's defense at all this year?
no. No.
I think
Not a
they'll be
chance.
there for you to pick up.
They'll be there for me to pick up, and they'll still be there after I've looked and picked somebody else
They'll
up.
be horrible. They might be middle of the pack.
They're
but
They're made of
six,
Swiss
they might
cheese.
be good. Yeah, but they got a new coach. They got like an entirely new defensive starters. The whole team, they swapped out about 8 of the defensive starters.
We're a year removed from our best cornerback throwing his socks into the stands. And what did we do? We traded the guy, and then he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. My team cannot keep their socks on. I cannot pick them up in a dynasty or a redraft or anything. I can't use them in DFS.
Oh man, that was a funny
real
day.
quick.
Yeah, go
Since
ahead.
you mentioned the Rams,
I'm off the
last year the Rams had all of these. We're going to sign them for a year. Defensive players.
Yeah.
They were great
How
on paper.
good are the Rams defense this year? Last year they were great. This year are they good?
Yeah,
Are they okay?
We have them at number 7 on the list that we're running through.
Is it a
good.
product of who they play, or are they good?
They do play in a weak division. I think a little of column A and a little of column B for me. It's a little bit of both. They're an average defense playing probably, well, this year they'll play a harder schedule, but even last year they played New Orleans and they had to deal with them. All right, really quick, I just want to run through the top 10, and then we're going to move on to kickers so we can move on to other things. So we had Chicago at 1, Baltimore at 2, Minnesota at 3, and Jacksonville at 4. Number 5, we have the Chargers, and God knows why. 6, we have the Saints. Again, God knows why.
I think sneaky good.
7 is the
Chargers.
Rams. 8 is Houston, but I'm rethinking that ranking because what's his name is holding out there. I forget the dude's name. Why am I drawing a blank? Who's that guy? Number 9, we've got Buffalo, and number 10, we've got the Patriots. You know, if you're not streaming, you're going to pick up one defense and start them every week but their off week. Who in that top 10 do you like? Because honestly, for me, it's either Minnesota or the Pats. Consistent, not going to give up a ton of points in most situations. Ball control offenses, I like both. I like both those defenses. If I'm just looking for somebody who's not going to cost me a ton of points, I like New England or Minnesota. Craig.
You know, I'd have to go Chicago or the Rams.
Okay. Sean.
If I'm not picking the Bears because they're going to be too high, I'm thinking Chargers or the Ravens.
Okay. Cinch.
I like what you said. The Vikings, the Patriots. I like the Chargers. One of those 3.
But was the Patriots defense really that good last year?
But they're level.
They have the best secondary players.
And they're
So
not on
that
the field a
means-
ton.
And that means the front 7 don't have to be great. If you're single covering in the secondary, you could blitz more.
That's it. I think if you looked at
They
whoever...
only gave up 3 points in the Super Bowl.
I mean, again, and this is the thing. Look at stuff like first downs allowed. I guarantee you right now, without looking at it, the Patriots are at least in the top 10, probably in the top 5 in total and fewest number of first downs allowed last year. They're up there. Offenses don't stay on the field against them except for Kansas City's. Well, that's not even true, too, because Kansas City scores every 2 plays, so they can score 5 touchdowns in 10 plays, and still the defense looks effective.
Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm
Right.
not saying the Patriots have a great defense.
No.
I'm saying that for 17 weeks, I don't think they're going to give up 48 to anybody.
Right. It's the safe play is what I'm saying. I'm looking for the safe play there.
It's an easy 5 points a week.
And you've got Buffalo and the Jets and the Dolphins on your schedule twice each.
Okay, really quick, we're going to wrap up because we're going to go on to kickers, which thankfully Sean did not submit a list for the consensus rankings, so there are no consensus rankings for Sean for kicker. Everyone in the room loved Greg Zuerlein except for Cinch. Cinch was a Justin Tucker person. It was not in the picture you sent me.
Right there.
Was not in the picture. I'm telling you, this is why you should send me email files and not pictures from your cell phones. Okay, so we've got just top 5 really quick. We've got Zuerlein, Tucker, Butker, Gostkowski, and Will Lutz. Give me one and why. You know what? Take the top 2 out because those are the guys. Zuerlein and Tucker are our 1-2. Butker, Gostkowski, or Lutz. Got to go with one.
You know what? I don't even want to look at it that way. Kickers, all you got to do with kickers, who scores a lot?
Who scores a lot? Yeah, look at those teams.
Exactly.
Look at those
Pick
teams.
the
The
team
Rams.
that's
Do
gonna
you-
score the
well,
most.
here's the thing. Do you pick the team that scores a lot and they're just going to get PATs, or do you want someone who's sort of good and they're going to get more field goals?
I would rather go with the team that's going to score a lot because I know that they're going to be there scoring something. If you pick a bad team and say, well, I'll get them for their field goals, maybe they have a bad week and your guy misses 1 field goal and hits 1 and now you're at 0.
And 4 of those 5 teams are the Rams, the Chiefs,
Saints.
the Saints, and the Patriots. 5 teams that score freak loads of points.
I'm going to go with Will Lutz because he's on the Saints and he kicks indoors most of the time.
I'm going to go with Will Lutz just because I remember a character named Lutz from the old show The State, and I love the name.
Fair enough.
Cinch or Sean? Cinch gave us his thoughts. Sean, really quick.
Lutz.
Lutz, done. Final thoughts. Who wants to lead off? Doesn't have to be about any of this stuff, but give me a final thought. Somebody, anybody.
Final thought on a kicker. You could pick up kicker number 8, kicker number 9, and you could pick him up in free agency. Or you could pick him up with your last pick. Pay no attention to kickers.
Which is why we spend so much time on them. That's honestly good. Sean, your final thought.
Again, don't go too high on defenses. Don't go like 10th round, 9th round, 7th round, which I've seen. And again, top 3 in those tight ends. If you don't get them, wait.
Craig.
Really quick. So the team with the fewest first downs allowed is Chicago, Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Buffalo.
Chicago, that's 4.
Tennessee.
5. Okay, so they're outside the top 5.
That's last year. Got to project this year. Give us this year's totals.
Okay, so Craig's final thought is that I am wrong. My final thought will just be to remind you we'll be back next week. When does this release? I'm drawing a complete blank on our release schedule.
I gotta look it up.
Thursday, Saturday. So we'll be back next Wednesday. Or no, we'll be recording next Wednesday. We'll be back next Thursday when the time you hear this, and we'll be doing our draft strategy spectacular. We'll be spending a couple of weeks on that. And then, believe it or not, kids, we're only about 4 weeks from the season at that point. We're going to have the kickoff. That's right. I don't know where we're watching Thursday night kickoff this year. It's got to be Sean's house, right? It's a Bears game.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to go there and mock them? It's Bears-Packers because it's the 100th season.
Oh, that's right.
They push the Pats to Sunday night. So the final thought on my end, really quick, I found out today that there's an individual I work with who I don't know. That this individual is not identified to me, but is a Cowboys fan and has taken sick days every Monday after a Sunday night game where the Cowboys play, and every Tuesday after a Monday night football, and the bosses are on to him. So I don't know who you are, but if you work with me and you know who I am, you need to show up for work after the Cowboys play because they're on to you and they're going to fire you.
Or just come in late and work late.
That's a lie. They're on to you, but then I can't say they're going to fire you. But it was hysterical today when I was sitting in a meeting with some managers. The managers are like, yep, every single time there's a primetime game with the Cowboys, he's off the next day.
Make it obvious.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
I don't even know the individuals. Yeah, seriously, you can't do it every time, folks. Once in a while, you got to get up and drag yourself in. Got to do it.
I like to show up after my team plays primetime so I could, smile at everybody. But I can see if you're a Cowboy fan, there's not that much smiling. And
That's
you don't
right.
want to show
And they
up.
play 5 primetime games this year. The bosses are watching. They've got them marked on the calendar. If he calls out on any of those days, anyway. We'll be back next week for our draft extravaganza. I want to thank Cinch and Sean for joining us for the ranking specials. Follow us on Twitter at FignutsDFS. We just hit a milestone on followers. We're a very small podcast, but growing, and we appreciate everyone who tunes in. Send us questions at the Twitter. Send us questions via email, fignutsdfs@gmail.com. Reach out to us on Facebook. Throw eggs at our studio. We don't care. We just love to interact with fans. Until then, I am Britt.
I'm Craig.
I'm Cinch.
And I'm Sean.
And this is the Football Fignuts Podcast.